welcome back to DXB Today. Good to have your company throughout the course of this evening. Big focus for us on education as we look at how this extraordinary city is shaping future leaders through its schools. When I was back at university a long time ago, most of us know what jobs would be around for the next 30 years. But today, with the speed of technology, how do educational institutes make sure that their students are well prepared for an ever-changing career landscape? With us now is Alanood Aldhaher, who is the Director of Strategic Communications and of course marketing at the American University of Sharjah. She joins us live here on the show. Alanood, thanks so much indeed for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Kind of you to be on board. And it is an interesting space, isn't it? Because as we talk about the evolution of education, we talk about the evolution of technology, we talk about the evolution and the challenges therein as well. How has UAE policy kept in stride with that evolution at the moment? What's it doing to ensure future leaders through the education process?
Of course, the focus on innovation, the focus on producing cultured citizens, and that means being much more well-rounded. It's not just about what you study and where you go after that, but using university and using institutions to be a leader in research, a leader in academic excellence, and those opportunities that you get to have in university will help not only shape your career, but shape your path. So it's passion and purpose. And this is also where, it's changed over 30 years. Innovation is when two different disciplines merge. And, it results in innovation. And this is what, we pride ourselves at AUS as we take an interdisciplinary form of an interdisciplinary model, and that allows the student to help shape their education path. So rather than just studying engineering to be an engineer, they have electives in sciences, they have electives in journalism and PR, and then that helps shape who they are and then ultimately their career. Yeah.
It's interesting. I was speaking to some young people recently, and they were opting out of going to university because they're thinking of more becoming entrepreneurs and that type of thing. How are universities evolving to encourage students to choose to study and then to go on to probably pursue entrepreneurship, etc.?
Of course. Our president, Her Excellency Sheikh bin Sultan Al Qasimi, recently said that AUS is a launch pad for life. And that's how we like to look at ourselves. You're not going into an institution for 4 years and coming out with a degree that might get you to, job A, B, C. You are investing in your future, you're investing in your education, and that's forever, that's eternal, it's not going to stop at any time. And then when you look at it from that point of view, you're able to approach it in a more unique way. You're able to incorporate industry into academia. You're able to incorporate real life simulations and, as they say, experiential learning, and that allows you as well to grow certain core skills that are needed not just for your career but for life. And so at AUS, we actually have one of the first student PR agencies, student-led PR agencies, one of 3 in the world and the first in the region. And so building that entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial skills and that passion from earlier on allows them to look at their career and look at their life in a much different way.
How important do you think the cross-sector collaboration is with universities, regulators, employers and schools?
It's incredibly important because they all play a vital role to the nurturing of that child and who they will be, and then in essence how the country will be, how the future policies will be shaped. And so it is really, really important that they're on the same page, that they're looking at it from, they look at it from different angles, but they're looking at the same objectives. And based on that, you create models, and you can create a plethora of learning models because, AUS, we have 100 different nationalities. The country itself is made up of more than that. So being able to understand those social and cultural nuances while developing these policies are really important. And, before anything, you have to listen to the student, you have to listen to the educator, you have to understand what it is that they need to help shape those future policies. So students play such a vital role in shaping the education landscape.
Let's talk about the success of AUS. I mean, such a roster of phenomenal individuals who've come out of the system. Give me some success stories. What kind of outcomes have we had? What kind of industries have your alumni gone into that now probably come back to the university to share with the current students? You know, because I think that's important to have that kind of loop round system. That's proof to the kids now and the students now that there is a bright future ahead.
Of course, I mean, you know, one of the clear indicators of a prestigious university or world-class university is its alumni. It's those, you know, that graduate from it, the network that they're able to have while being in university, and something that AUS is incredibly strong in is developing those industry partnerships. So we work very closely with BIA, with Sheraa, with SRTIP, with Emirates, with SIWA. Internationally, we have internships at Boeing. And then as well, when you look at on a government scale, many of the director generals and ministers are AUS graduates. So again, you have something to aspire to. You know that coming to AUS or being in a certain education institution will lead to a certain outcome. And so that's something we're very proud of. And it's not only locally, but we are grateful to have a very strong brand reputation perception that expands out of the country limits. So we're known regionally, we're known globally as well.
I hope you don't mind me saying, having spent many, many years in this part of the world and having seen my children grow up here through the education process, and there was a school of thought back in the day that, you know, once kids got through secondary education, they were sent off to university elsewhere. Yes. That, for me, seems to have fundamentally changed in recent years, where I've actually had my daughter finish school here, and she considered university here in the UAE, as do many of her peers and colleagues as well. Is that something that we're seeing at the moment? Because you just highlighted the number of different nationalities, and is that something that will grow and continue in the future?
Yes. So, I mean, a decade ago, probably, you know, they always said that the UAE, you'd come here for maybe 2 or 3 years and you'd leave. It was a transient country, transient city. Now with the policies in place, so not only through education, but through the green visas, the golden visas, the ease of business and buying property, people see themselves living here for the longer term, putting down roots. And education plays such a major role in that, because what AUS does and what a lot of institutions are doing now is they are part of a wider ecosystem. So I can actually see myself coming to study, to innovate with Sheraa and with SRTIP, coming to accelerate and then scale with the different opportunities in the industries that are available. As a parent, I might be looking at a longer term investment, so I probably want to send, you know, my child into a very safe, cultured environment, and then, you know, look at maybe properties along the way that would serve my child, and then in the future investment needs. So the way that the country has the outlook that it's shaped, and as well as education playing a vital role in that, is you're able to see the longer term. And it is no longer, you know, we talk about circular economy, but it is circular education as well. You see that return on investment, and you see that future when you're here, which I'm really, really glad to see, personally see as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is extraordinary change.
The future is definitely looking very bright. Alanood, thank you so much for coming on the show. And that is some great advice that you've shared with us, especially for parents like us who still have a few more years to go, but that's definitely some helpful.
It comes sooner than you think.
Doesn't it just?
It really does, yes.
Thank you so much. Nimi, I believe you have our DX Bean 60.
I do, thank you, Ash. Lisa, no pressure whatsoever, and no one's probably prepared you for this, but I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock. I'm going to ask you as many questions as possible. This is to nicely round it up and get to know you a bit more. So if we can get 60 seconds on the clock in 3, 2, 1. Lisa, your first job?
I worked in a clothing store.
Okay, retail. Your motto in life and in work?
Work hard, play harder.
Your favorite part about living right here in Dubai?
I love the diversity.
If you could have dinner with anyone, past or alive, who would it be?
Oprah Winfrey.
The one thing you would introduce into the education system or to every school?
I'd increase the teachers' pay.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure they'll agree. Best way to unwind after a stressful day?
I'd love to curl up in my sofa and watch Netflix. I know it's not very innovative, but that's what I love to do.
Yeah, it's simple enough. What is your go-to restaurant in Dubai?
Ooh, I do love the Fairmont. And I just love the Fairmont on the
Yeah.
Palm. That's my favorite.
Is there a book, movie, or series that you recommend?
The book I love to read is called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy.
Beautiful.
And in terms of series, I'm a reality TV kind of girly. So I do love Married at First Sight Australia, which is obsessed.
I'm obsessed.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Well, Lisa, you know what? We've really got to know you a bit better there. So thank you for sharing. And
You're
thank you for
welcome.
being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, big thank you to you for guest co-hosting. Thanks for being on board. Alanood, thanks very much indeed for sharing your expertise with us as well.
Thank you,
So
Tom.
for here today.
Thank you.
Right, we're going to take a little bit of a break, but when we come back, live music to play us out. Anna is going to be playing us out, so stay with us.